Welcome to the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. Here's your host, Brien Hanley.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? This is your man, Big B, Brien Hanley, along with Tim Fitzgerald. Welcome back to the Big 12 Insiders. Appreciate everybody being in here. Look, good basketball games last night in the Big 12, Fitz. One buzzer beater, one in double overtime. We'll cover that and more here in a second. Also going to talk a little bit about, CBS, about how they need to – the Big 12 needs to lean into them being a full-time partner. Now, granted, there's some stuff going on with CBS with YouTubeTV. We'll cover that too, but that's kind of, I guess, par for the course with cable networks and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to dive into that a little bit because I think it's a big thing that the Big 12 needs to lean into, especially with the disrespect that we constantly get from ESPN. It's just nonsense, Fitz. So,
agreed.
Yeah.
So what brought this topic to mind is YouTube TV and Paramount, the holder of CBS, the entities, are in one of those corporate showdowns over carriage rights in which we all lose because either we lose CBS and all the things that come with it on YouTube TV, which I have, or the prices are going to go up because CBS is getting more money. So again, the consumer loses, but CBS/Paramount played its hand perfectly timed right before the NCAA tournament. They got a month out now. And if YouTube TV doesn't solve this by then, they're done.
Yeah.
They're going to lose a lot of their audience, and we ain't coming back.
No, that's the thing. There's too much out there for people to come back and to deal with that.
And keep going through this because YouTube TV just keeps going up in price. But from a Big 12 perspective, losing CBS right now would be horrific because CBS Sports Network is absolutely kicking ass covering Big 12 basketball. It's showing us how good the coverage should be and raising the bar for ESPN and maybe showing us, proving right before our eyes that eventually leaving ESPN may not be the end of the world, that others can do a really good job, promote your product, and have some reach. I know ESPN's really powerful, but if they're going to continue this back shelving of the Big 12, you're going to have to move on.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. And let's just look at the games from last night. One was, I guess, I don't know if the TCU game, Oklahoma State, I didn't pay that much attention to where I just got on. Again, I have YouTube TV and I just got on and started watching it. Yep. I did notice that Arizona State and Tech was on CBS. But if you just look at the quality of the coverage, CBS does a much better job than what ESPN does. And maybe that's because ESPN just frankly just doesn't care about the Big 12. Yeah, we'll put it on. We'll throw together a broadcast, and it is what it is. But first of all, the game, I mean, TCU, that game, I mean, it was an incredible game. It ended with the last second shot. TCU made a shot at the end of the game to win it, a three-pointer. They were down 2, hits a three-pointer after they throw the ball the length of the court to score. So, again, I thought Oklahoma State had to win. TCU ends up winning. But that Tech game was incredible, Fitz. That game goes into double overtime. And I'm going to be the first one. You all know me. I will apologize. I thought Arizona State had quit. I thought because, first of all, I'm not going to apologize for not liking Bobby Hurley. I still think he's a whiny, just sniveling guy, but whatever. But they didn't quit. They showed up last night. We always said they were talented. It was never the talent. It was did they have the want to, and were they taking their cues from their whining, sniveling head coach? Well, for a while they were, but he's better, or they were better. Let me just say that. They were better last night. And in a lot of ways, they were the better team, but Tech is really good. Tech said, no, we're not going to let you beat us at home. We're still good. Took double overtime, but they ended up getting the job done. But that telecast, just to bring it back to that, it was incredible, Fitz. What CBS does is just it's next level as far as college basketball. I mean,
yeah, it's amazing.
Imagine this, and follow me with me here, people. Imagine the NCAA tournament, the way that it is now, being on ESPN. Just imagine that, and then think of it how it actually is right now, and who they have on, what they do. The coverage is so much better. The broadcast is so much better. And again, I'm not I hate ESPN type of a guy. I'm not that guy. But I understand when good is good and when something is great. And you can say ESPN's is good, CBS is great. And I think the Big 12's just got to lean into that and say, we want to be partners with you.
First, I loved that game last night.
Yeah.
Those are two really good teams. Arizona State, holy crap. Your ceiling is a lot higher than I think all of us realized. You can be a really good team, but Tech found a way to win. It's hard to win in Lubbock because the crowd's amazing.
Yeah.
But you know what happened after a double overtime thriller that ran late, by Big 12 standards? That was a pretty late finish to that game. And after the game, CBS Sports Network went to the studio just like ESPN would, except they had a full studio crew. They had a 4-person desk to talk about the game that just happened and about the Big 12, the kind of coverage the Big 12 deserves. Not over on ESPN where a game gets over and they say, hey, that was a good game. Let's go to the next game. And it's the SEC, and it's going to be even better. I mean, they're just so bought in on the SEC now. Again, I've said this on all of my platforms. I don't think it's a mistake that the year that ESPN takes over the SEC full-time in basketball too, that all of a sudden the SEC is the best basketball conference.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Look, they've got some really good teams, but not until this year, until this season, has the SEC ever been considered in contention for that role. But now that ESPN has the SEC, oh boy, are they amazing. And we'll find out in the postseason. They might well be. But I just think what CBS does is elite in coverage of college sports and what the Big 12 deserves. And I would hope in the future, a combination of these Paramount entities and the MGM entities, which are True TV and TNT and TBS, a combination of those two would be a mighty force governing the Big 12.
Absolutely. And look, we've talked about it a million times, and we'll probably talk about it a million more, is that the Big 12 just needs its own network.
Right.
A couple people have gotten into the comments and asked, when are we going to have Brett Yormark on? And I'm like, I can't make the man come on our show. I would love to get him on here and talk to him and ask him questions about what's going on. And can we lean into this? Do we need to separate ourselves from ESPN? I absolutely would get him on and ask him those questions, because I think those are real things that need to happen for the Big 12 to separate itself and just be on its own. And not only that, Fitz, it would take it to a different level, because, again, people will watch if you put something good out there. They just don't want to have, okay, well, I got to go to ESPN. I don't think people necessarily care where they consume basketball or football. They don't care. As long as it's done fair and it's done well, they will go wherever you're at.
Right.
And if ESPN, or if the Big 12 goes away from ESPN and they go to these other places, as long as you do it right, people will show up. That's the thing about it. They will show up, and the better that you do it, number one, it's going to force other places to get better. So then you get better, coverage all over the place, because let's just say the Big 12 left and they move on to these other platforms and they're doing dynamite studio shows, coverage. The production is just outstanding. Do you really think that ESPN or NBC or whoever is just going to stand by and just say, well, man, they're just better than us? There's just nothing we can do. They're not. They're going to get better, which in turn gives everybody a better viewing, which is what we all really want. We just want it all to be, number one, we want it to be equal. But number two, we just want good telecasts. And when they constantly just shove the SEC is the best no matter what down your throat, people just get tired of that.
Yep.
And ESPN, to be frank, like I said, I'm not I hate ESPN person. but they're just so much, they could be so much better than that. I'm not going to say that they are better than that because they don't act like it, but they could be so much better because they didn't used to be that, Fitz. That's what's troubling to me. They didn't used to be that.
They've gotten fat and comfortable. I mean, they are the worldwide leader. They used to say it, but now it's true. When something happens on ESPN, it's exposed to everyone. They see it, but they also half-ass everything because they feel like they don't have to try anymore.
Right.
So I agree with you. If CBS can roll in and start, making them try by stealing ratings and taking over contracts, it'll be good for all viewers. But my concern is the Big 12. And I know as long as ESPN's aligned with the SEC, the Big 12 is going to be an afterthought. They would have never dumped out of an SEC Big Monday game to go to the NBA. They just would not have if that was a Big 12 SEC game. Big 12, even though it was a great matchup, this is not important. It's just a Big 12. It's annoying, but again, kind of circling back to the topic, what's going on right now with YouTube TV and CBS is going to be an ongoing thing. It was an ongoing thing with cable companies. But right now for the Big 12 to lose CBS and CBS Sports Network and a lot of other channels, to be honest, off of the YouTube TV platform right before Selection Sunday would be awful. Would be awful because that's going to erase some games from being more visible. Look, here's a dirty secret, okay? We're not supposed to talk about this, Big B, for reasons I don't understand. But 24/7 full price subscribers get Paramount Plus free. It's part of the subscription. So if you're thinking about going to pay $13 a month for Paramount Plus, just sign up at full price for your local 24/7 site and ask about access to Paramount Plus. It's there. So there's that. But that will still cut off a lot of people that might rely on YouTube TV because it's become cable, right?
Yeah.
It's streaming cable.
Yep.
Please give me the day when someone comes along and maybe it's going to be Pluto or someone else that here's all of our fast choices, which is free advertising supported television, which is exactly what we used to have, but now they got a fancy name for it. All those channels are free on Pluto TV for them and you. And then offer tiers. You want to add the ESPN package, you want to add the CBS Paramount package, you want to add the NBC and whatever Universal package. And because all of these entities are lined up, you got ESPN, ABC, Disney, and all that as a package. You can't lose that if you're an entity, but some people could live without it. Why can't they have the choice to live without it? Can we please go to a la carte? It's what the consumers want. And the answer is always, no, we're going to do it the old way.
Money.
I just want it. I want it. Yeah, money.
Money. That's the ruler that rules the world. And that's the reason why. But yeah, I mean, look, YouTube TV. I mean, for me, first of all, let's kind of break this down a little bit. There's no chance that YouTube TV isn't going to make a deal with Paramount before the tournament. Let's just start there.
It might be before we're done with the show.
Complaining as of today, they're going to start complaining because there are plenty of shows that show up on CBS that people aren't going to be able to watch that have YouTube TV. They're going to be furious about that. So that's number one. Then you go, okay, college basketball is now starting to come on. It'll because the Super Bowl is over. So college basketball will be on CBS basically from 11 o'clock on Saturday till about 5:30 on Saturday evening. So you're going to miss all those games. They're going to have at least 2 games on Sunday. So those are things that people are going to miss out on, that people are going to be furious, and that you literally can't watch it unless you have another streaming service, which some people are going to just, oh, you know what? I'm just going to move. I'm done. But if they didn't have it for March Madness, I mean, I think a minimum, Fitz, at a minimum, they would lose 60% of their subscribers at an absolute minimum. And it might be more than that, because you're going to tell me that I can't watch the NCAA tournament. I got YouTube TV and you're not going to show it. I don't need you. Somebody else will show it. And guess what? When I move, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. I don't need NFL Sunday ticket that bad. I'm not coming back. I'm over it. And I'm probably going to be one of those people that would do that because I have YouTube TV. I love it. But you're not going to show me March Madness? I'm out. I'm absolutely out. Now, it'll get done. But I will say this. I live in the Dallas area. People that had Dish Network, I think it was 3 years ago, the ABC, they did the same thing. And the OU Texas game did not come on because they were going through this. People just got rid of Dish Network left and right, and they have never recovered. So YouTube TV got to be smart. You've got to be smart here. So,
and as you get closer to the NCAA tournament, I would imagine CBS's price is going to go up, not down.
Absolutely.
They've got you in a corner. Just settle this thing and move on.
Yeah.
The problem is you're paying a lot of money for networks that aren't of the kind of demand that a CBS and CBS Sports Network and anything else would be. They keep buying more, adding more channels like cable and adding more price. Well, these are the things that people want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's, I live in a house where adding the Hallmark channels was a hallmark of greatness for YouTube TV. Not me personally. Let's just say outside forces tell me to say that. So I get that. It has allowed us to dump another subscription, but they keep adding and adding and adding. And like, come on, tear some of this out for us. Don't keep chucking it on our shoulders because there's a lot of channels now, just like cable, I could give two craps about. There's just 2/3 of the channel lineup is everyone should have this choice. So get this resolved and let's move on to the next thing. YouTube TV, you were great. You came along and gave us the bridge between cable and streaming. It's a hybrid of those two entities, but we're all smarter now. We're all more savvy. We don't need the cable-like interface to understand what we're doing. We've been doing this for years.
Right.
And we will move on.
Yeah. That's the thing. We'll move on. And when we go, we won't come back.
No.
People are that finicky. I mean, people's attention spans these days are about as long as the snap of a finger. And when they get crossed on something that they have so many other options, they'll just go to the other option and just, hey, I'm not coming back. You got to knock my socks off for me to come back. That's why DirecTV lost so many people. Is that, hey, you lost Sunday ticket. Oh, I was paying this amount of money. Yeah, I'll move on and I'm done with you. Well, we'll drop it to this. Yeah, you know what? You could have dropped that a long time ago and you didn't. You took advantage of me because I had to be here. Now that I don't, I'm never coming back. I speak from experience, Fitz. I was a DirecTV person. The minute the Sunday ticket left, I said, oh, so I can go somewhere else and watch Steeler games. Oh, and I can pay $200 less a month. Yes, I'm going to do that. Thank you, DirecTV. Goodbye. And YouTube TV, you keep doing it, you're going to be in the same boat. But swinging it back towards the Big 12, I just think it's a good move for the Big 12 to go to CBS. I really, really do. They've just got to get to a place to where we just say we're done. The thing that frustrates me, and I'm not mad about it per se, I'm just disappointed. That's a good word, is that the ball could have gotten rolling even further if Arizona State doesn't get hosed against Texas. If they win that game, the Big 12, first of all, they did a good job of putting us on, I shouldn't say on the map, but keeping us relevant. But if they win that, then I think the ball gets rolling even faster because, well, look, the Big 12 isn't what we kept saying that it was. We kept saying that it was terrible. It was terrible. Well, actually, it wasn't terrible. And people are still saying that now because they saw Arizona State and what they could do. And so that's the part that was disappointing to me is that, hey, they win the game. The ball gets rolling even faster. Heck, maybe CBS is beating down our door to get us, Fitz. Who knows? But I'd be interested, but I think we got to move in that direction.
Yeah, look, going to CBS and the True TV, TNT combination, TBS, is replicating the coverage of the NCAA tournament, Big B.
Yeah.
That's who does the the NCAA tournament.
They do.
I don't think any of us have any major complaints about how the NCAA tournament is covered. We think it's pretty good. In fact, we think a big reason March Madness is the madness we enjoy is the job that they do, hopping us from game to game, covering with great studio interactions, entertainment and informative.
Yeah.
And the thought of being able to take that level of coverage to the Big 12 for football and basketball, it's madness all year long. You get that kind of coverage, and I would be down for it in a moment. I'm all for it. And doubling back to Brett Yormark, we will get him on, or do our best to get him on, but probably wait till after basketball season when some of this calms down. And yeah, we'll know about all of this right now. But this also might get him as an entryway to talk about some of these things. But we've got enough going on right now. He does too. We'll probably wait till the spring when we're a little bit slower.
Absolutely, man. So Fitz, good conversation today, man. I thought this was something, or you thought this was something that we needed to bring to the table. I totally agree. Again, Big 12 basketball is going berserk. And the quicker we can get in our own network and put things over there and have them promote us on a national scale by ourselves, I think the better off that we will be. It's going that direction. It's going to take a little time, going to take some doing, but I think it's something that can get done because, hey, ESPN doesn't want us. All we need is a home to go. As soon as we find that, we can get over there. I think ESPN will just say, yeah, go ahead. Just go ahead and go. You're fine. We don't need you anymore, which would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. So appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for everybody showing up. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, continue to get in those comments, and always hit the notification bell to let us know exactly when Big 12 Insiders content comes out. Appreciate you guys. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you for watching the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. This has been a Spirit Street production.